Hello, today we're gonna review about a movie called Creep, which was released in 2014. So this movie has only two characters. The first character's name is Aaron, who is a struggling videographer. So Aaron, he receives and he sees an online ad where he has to make some videography on a particular assignment, and he has to visit a remote cabin in a place called Crestline. So the movie starts, and this guy Aaron, he starts his car and he goes to the cabin which was located in an isolated place in the woods. So he goes there and he found that the house was locked. So he returns, and so he thinks that the owner of the house is not currently not at the house. So he sees there was an axe which was stuck in a tree which was cut down. So he then he returns to his car and locks his car and sits there waiting for the owner. And a couple of minutes later, the owner comes and he surprises this Aaron. His name was Joseph. So Joseph asks Aaron to come in his house, and then he explains that Joseph had an inoperable brain tumor, and he's married to his wife Angela, who was pregnant at that time. But according to Joseph, he would not survive for more than 2 or 3 months before his child is born. So he wants Aaron to make a videograph uh, on Joseph, so that his son, when he would be born, he would be able to see how his father is. And he also asks Aaron not to glorify him and just show how he is as a real person. So uh, then he asks Aaron to come to his bathroom, and he he assumes that his child is also there and he's playing with him, and he asks Joseph to record it. And then he takes him to the uh, forest where they say there was a pond which was in the shape of heart. And so Joseph follows him, and then they go there and they make some video about how Joseph is going to interact with his son. And after that, at night they return to the cabin where Aaron asks Joseph permission to return to his house. But Joseph insists on having a drink, and after that he could leave. Just one drink. So Aaron was first hesitant, but he then decides, okay, uh, it won't be appropriate to deny his offer. So he goes there, and after having a drink, Aaron decides to leave, but he couldn't find his car keys. So uh, he now started to he started to doubt uh, Joseph now, because he was in the middle of nowhere, and there was no way of contacting anyone. So he asks, so he mixes some kind of powder some kind of liquid in Joseph's drink. So he would fall asleep, and it would give a chance for Aaron to escape from there. So and Joseph then drinks that drink, and then goes and then he fell asleep. And then in the meantime, Aaron receives a call from the so-called wife of uh, Joseph, who was Angela. But Angela then asks Aaron to that she reveals that she is not Joseph's wife, but she is his sister. And then she also wants Aaron to run away from that place as far as possible and as quickly as possible, because his life is in danger, and he would be safe if he leaves the cabin right now. So, so Aaron goes and he checks that Joseph is still sleeping, but he's shocked to see that Joseph was missing from from the couch he was sleeping on. Then he hears some noise coming from the ground floor. So he goes and checks there, and there was Joseph standing with a mask of wolf. And when Aaron asks him to just move away from that place so that he could go, then Joseph refused that he wouldn't go from here. And but soon after, Joseph opens the door and he then runs away. And Aaron was able to go out of that place safely and return to his home. But soon after that, Aaron started receiving some mails from Joseph. First, there were several recordings he was giving one by one. So the first recording was of Joseph digging a grave, and second, so after that, Aaron got scared and he contacted the police. But the police couldn't take much action because they knew little about this guy named Joseph. He tried to find that place, the cabin where he said where Joseph told he was staying, but it was on rent, so there was no place on reaching Joseph. And then after that, he receives a last CD from Joseph, who says that who insisted on meeting Joseph for meeting Aaron for one last time. So in the meantime, throughout the movie is shot from Aaron's camera. So Aaron talks to his camera and says that this guy, he's not looking, he's not a threat to me. So he could go and meet him. He could go and meet Joseph. So he decides to go and meet Joseph at a public place. In the video, Joseph has told that it's a public place and he could come there safely. So, but still, for some backup, the guy, the Aaron, he puts a video camera and he records himself. He hides the camera somewhere and records himself. So he was sitting on the bench, and then Joseph appeared from behind him, and then he was holding an axe and the mask of a wolf, which he wore in the cabin. So now Joseph wears that mask and he kills Joseph. He kills Aaron. So in the meantime, Aaron did not even try to turn and look who is standing beside him. So that's a movie. Then after that, the Joseph, he found out that the Aaron was hiding a camera somewhere. That's why he was not looking behind. And then Joseph explains that this guy Aaron was very lonely. That's why he was finding someone as a friend. So that's why, and he also says that Aaron is his favorite victim. And after that, Joseph again, he puts an ad, and now he calls himself Joseph. He has changed his name to Bill, and then he keeps the video recording of the Aaron. There were several ad among several other recordings, and that's how the movie ended. And this movie also had a sequel, which was named Creep 2, which we will cover in the next video. Okay, thanks.